What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? Ooh-wee. Hey, have y'all seen Welcome to Derry? Because that's what we're going to talk about today. I am your host, Emmanuel Noisette. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming through. Now, first and foremost, let me just say, wow, that was something. Okay, that was something. Just for those of you that are new, we are going to talk about Welcome to Derry, starting with episode 1. And this is where I have to let you guys know, spoiler alert. Okay, spoiler alert. I'm going to go through the episode. We're going to recap. I'm going to give you some of my reactions to some of the scenes, maybe some commentary. This is not going to be some ridiculously crazy Stephen King deep dive. Just letting you guys know right now, I did not read the books. I've watched all the movies, the TV movies, stuff like that. So forgive me now. I'm not like the Stephen King connoisseur or anything, but I do welcome anybody who has read the books. If there's some interesting tidbits or some information we need to know, please feel free to let us know. But I am here on this journey, probably like a lot of other people. I've watched the movies. I liked the previous It movies. Both of them were directed by Andy Muschietti, who also is the showrunner and director of a lot of these episodes as well. But yes, we are going to go through spoilers. So just if you haven't seen the episode, this is the time when you should go watch it, go on and do something else. Or if you don't care about spoilers, then I guess this is okay for you. But along with the spoiler alert, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I am no longer responsible for anybody that's a scary head. Okay, some of y'all be scared. Okay, I don't know why you're here. I cannot help you if you get scared over Pennywise and clowns and all. This is not the place for you. I know we like to kick it. Okay, I know we do, but this ain't it. This is not the time. So you have been warned. Okay, you got your spoiler alert and you got your scary alert. Okay, because this show is not playing with y'all. It's not playing with y'all. Okay. Whew. Anywho, let's see who's made it out. I just wanted to see who was brave enough to come out, because I know we wasn't gonna get our usual crowd of people. I know that. I knew that from the jump. I don't do this for the numbers. I don't do this, to go viral. I knew this was gonna be a very select few of people. So let's see who's brave enough to come through and be here. We got Last of My Kin. Let's go. Hey, I've watched this at least 3 times myself. Okay, at least. Yes. So I'm with you on that. My man Dex. Hey, you know what? At least your partner will watch it with you. I don't think my partner will watch it with me. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. Listen, we don't do scary movies no more. Okay. The first time we did it, it was a disaster. She started laughing in the theater. I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, what is going on? We're not doing that no more. And that's okay. I respect that. I just wish she would respect my wishes when she wants to put on certain movies that she knows I am allergic to, but that's a different story for another time. Anywho, who else we got? 60 plus. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being there. Paulette, always a pleasure. Appreciate you coming through. Shar, all good. Thank you so much for being here. My man Mitch is here as well. Who is this? Animals Are Cute. Thank you so much for being here. My man Mike is here. How you doing? Listen, I'm not watching the game yet. Please don't spoil it. I'm gonna watch it after this. I know it's probably a messy game, but I'm gonna watch that a little later. My man Eugene is here. Good to see you. Tracy, appreciate you coming through. Christy, how you doing? Yes, watching this when the sun is up is probably a very good idea. I wasn't scared. I'm fine, but I understand this is a little spicy for some people. I get it. Okay, I totally get it. Johnny, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Amanda, I appreciate you. Callow, appreciate you coming through. Dwight, what is going on? My man Sheed, how you doing? You're not watching yet. Okay, yeah, watch the replay. I know you're watching the game. Watch the game. Go ahead, watch this later. That's okay. Melanie, good to see you. My man Derek is here. Zia, appreciate you coming through. Listen, if you had the courage to do it, I understand. Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad. Appreciate you so much. Let's see who else. Oh, Rims. Well, okay, we definitely gonna keep Rims in the thoughts and prayers. Thank you so much for that. Shout out to Rims for that, by the way. My man Minister Crush is here. Good to see you. Who else? I see Anonymous. Good to see you too. My man Andrew is here. Sean, Omar, S Tom, what's going on? Only Sam K, appreciate you coming through. And Sunshine, good to see you as well. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. Okay, let's get into this. We about to go through the episode because this episode, this show is not playing with y'all. Okay, it clearly is not playing with y'all at all. So we're gonna kick this off, and we start off with this very old school movie. And I do believe this is a real movie. I think it was called Music Man or something like that. And it's all about like a con man basically conning an entire town. And I do think that that is pretty reflective, you know, of basically a liar, a con man like Pennywise, who lies to people, lies to kids, and basically is manipulating them the whole way. So I thought that this was very fitting for them to have. Then we meet our boy Matty. Now he is here sucking the hell out this pacifier. And I think that as we go along, this is just a parent of the trauma that Matty goes through. He's clearly been through a lot. He's gone through some things. And this is probably his coping mechanism, right? Some kids suck their thumb. And I don't know any grown kids outside of those that have, like, let's say, mental issues that are still sucking on pacifiers. But this just lets me know Matty's gone through some things. But listen, it's so bad that, you know, the usher is already after him, trying to chase him out of there. You even had the grandma Karen that, you know, trying to shush him and everything. And while he tries to escape, you know, we do see Ronnie. We're introduced to her character. She sees what he's up to. The usher's still after him. And we meet Hank. You know, Hank being Ronnie's dad. You know, Hank tells the usher, like, hey, man, just chill out, man. We already know the boy's got a rough family, you know, a rough house, you know, a family life or whatever. Just cut him some slack, right? And we see that he's already hiding here. And Ronnie, you know, she sees it, right? Hank asks Ronnie, like, yo, have you seen this boy running around? And she's like, look, you know, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. Okay. She already knows the no snitching rule. And she said, like, hey, he went that away, right? He already went that away. Now, here's something I want y'all to also think about, because when Hank basically talked about the whole thing with Maddie's family, I want you to understand, like, how apathetic or the lack of empathy was shown by the usher. He did not care, right? He did not care. Now, this is going to be something I want us to pay attention to, because keep in mind, the town of Derry, it's kind of like a character in itself, right? Derry has certain attributes that we're going to discover, you know, and one of those characteristics is that the people of Derry are affected by the evil from the it creature, right? So Pennywise lives in the sewers or whatever, and whatever evil that radiates from Pennywise, it seeps into the actual atmosphere. And one of the side effects, there are others, but one of the side effects is that people just don't care. So when you start to see people act in a very, you know, apathetic way, where they're just like, man, I don't care about this, I don't care about that, whatever, that's the effect of being near Pennywise in this town, right? So anyway, Ronnie, she ain't no snitch, you know, she was like, nah, we good, you know, like whatever. So we do see that the kid actually makes it out until, of course, the usher finally kicks him out all the way. Now, we do see Matty. He's out here in these streets, in the cold, hitchhiking at that, which, again, this has got to be a very bad sign. If you're a kid of his age and you out here hitchhiking in the middle of the night and it's cold, how bad could it actually be in this kid's house? And we do see a couple pull up, and they ask him, like, hey, where's your parents' home? And he's like, listen, It don't matter. Just take me out. Take me anywhere but Derry. I don't want to be nowhere near this whole town. Whew, man, you know that's bad. So we see the kids in the back, and by the way, you could also hear, you have to also pay attention to the stuff going on in the background. We hear on the radio that there are certain things going around like radiation. Keep in mind, this is right after the war. It's wartime. So there's a lot of high tensions going around when it comes to like the A-bomb, when it comes to radiation and the birth defects that happen with the babies. Okay, so this is obviously a big hint. Now, you also see this little boy here. He's doing all this spelling. He was spelling lilies. Now, I don't know if y'all caught this, but while he was spelling lilies, he also, got interrupted, but then he spelled the rest of the word, which was Lies, lies. And the mom turned right around, was like, that's my boy. Yes, right? So lies, right? Just that. Here we go. Here we go. Now, here's something I need y'all help with. The sister grabbed this, container of liver. First of all, the fact that y'all got to label that stuff is something. But I was like, okay. But I need y'all help. I apologize for my ignorance to my non-melanated black friends out there. I apologize in advance. I don't know what y'all bring on road trips. Okay, I don't know. I thought y'all would bring stuff like trail mix, some fruit, some beef jerky or something. I don't know. Maybe some what is that? The tuna sandwiches, the all white sandwiches. I don't know what the white stuff be, but the mayo I don't know. But when I saw this liver, I was like, what is this a cultural thing? Do y'all do this for real? I don't know. Please forgive my ignorance. Okay. I'm like, who brings liver on a road trip? Okay. But then she opened it up, and that liver, I'm like, wait, that can't be raw liver. That's got to be like beets. It's got to be some beets or something. And then you see this girl sniffing her hand, and I'm like, yo, okay. First of all, I don't trust nobody that sniffs their fingers for no reason. If you are willing to sniff your fingers in public, okay, I understand. Listen, sometimes, maybe you're doing a little, maybe you're doing an armpit check or something, but you're not going to do that in public in front of everybody. And this little girl going to sniff her fingers, and then she going to put that in my man's face. Listen, if there were red flags, there are repeated flags on the play. Flags on. First, you busted out the liver. Then it was raw. Then you sniffed the fingers. Then you gonna make somebody else sniff them. Hell to the no, sir. First of all, you should have been trying to get out the car right then and there. Right then and there. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. We know Maddie is clearly been going through some stuff, and it's clearly been really bad. Because this man sat here and said, you know what, y'all weird, but I'm just going to lean to the side because this is still better than going home. That's how messed up his house has got to be. This was still sniffing liver fingers was better than going home for this boy. Good God. What is he going through? Okay. So then I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, is this like some weird thing? Like, was she flirting with him? Because then I was like, wait a minute, she look a little older. Like, my mind is racing at this point in this scene because there's so much stuff happening. I'm like, what are you doing? Are you trying to flirt with him? He's clearly like half your age, and you over here with the liver bloody fingers. You gotta stop. Then she's yelling at her brother and everything. And I'm like, okay, something is wrong here. And the moment the mama said, oh, there goes my little harlot, she could barely keep her legs together. I said, ho, frick. Another flag on the play. No, just throw just another flag on the play. And the daddy was like, reminds me of her mother. I said, oh, hell no. Hell no. They all in cahoots. They all in cahoots. Okay, now listen, I'm curious for y'all to tell me, what sign did y'all know everything was just wrong? Because this is when I started to be like, nah, this is none of this is okay. Everything is bad. This ain't nothing just strange. This is a get the hell up out of here. Okay, that's when this started to click for me. But yeah, I was just like, hey, Maddie, we ain't in Derry no more. Okay, you in hell. You's in hell right now. Okay, and the fact that they've been driving straight all this time and they still was in Derry, they were going back to Derry. I was like, this is crazy. This is insane. And I feel like we're going to have a conversation. We have to have this conversation about what the hell is going on with this Pennywise and his powers. We got to talk about that later. But anyway, while they're in the car, all of a sudden, the mom's belly starts to get bigger and bigger, and out of nowhere, she gives birth. And then you saw the crooked eyeballs. Y'all already know when you see the crooked eyeballs, it's too late. Okay, Pennywise done got you. He already looking at two different angles. It's over with. Okay. Then on top of that, they all out here trying to look to see what's coming out the baby with the mama. This thing fly up out of her, and then of course this is okay. Can we take a moment and just talk about this too? There's so much happening in this scene. It's so much stuff. We already saw some crazy baby thing flying out. Okay, it already flew out. And it's flying throughout the whole car. It's doing all this crazy stuff. And this is exactly what the radio was talking about with the radiation and the mutations. The thing flies around the car, and this is what gets me. This scene right here. We know that Pennywise is obviously controlling all of this at this time, right? All these players, all these people, all of this is Pennywise. I want you to pay attention to how much of a troll Pennywise really is. He is so committed to his own trolling that he's willing to have his own puppets, which are him, act surprised at the same drama that he's creating. I'm so sick of this clown. How messed up do you have to be to sit here and commit to your own ruse? Like, he's the one that made the demon baby. He's the one that spit that demon baby all around. He is all of these characters. And he gonna look around like, what's going on? What? This is diabolical. I don't even know if we've seen other horror villains be this committed to their own bit. This is nasty work. Oh. And then you got the demon baby. First of all, this is wild. Who comes up with this? Who thought about this and came up with this? This is ridiculous. And then Maddie had to put this is how you know Maddie's messed up. With all this nonsense going on with the demon baby flying around and everything, blood spattered everywhere. First thing he does was grab his pacifier. Whew. And they all start looking at him. That's when Pennywise was like, scene. It's go time now. And Maddie, he gone. That pacifier went flying out the car window. Out the window and into the sewers. And that's how we get our title scene. Let me just take a moment. Because I feel like this was just 10 minutes of like, what the hell? That was an amazing opening. That was an amazing opening where we got scares, we got led down this long trip, had no idea where we was going with this. This is messed up. But this is what you sign up for when you're trying to watch it. When you're watching this type of. So, you know what? Shout out to Andy Muschietti. Amazing opening. This is how you get me invested. Because there's no way you could watch this and not keep watching unless you just really are scared. I get that. Whew. Okay. Let me grab this. Tracy, Scaredy Cat here. Tracy, why are you here? God bless you, because I don't know how you made it here. Watch this insanity just to be with my E-fam. Hope you will keep your word and watch and try to watch Andor season 2. You know, expand your horizons. Yes, ma'am. I shall do my best. I shall do that. Omar, I'm gonna get to you in just a second. But we're gonna save that for a little later because I agree with you. I'm gonna get back to you though. But okay, let's get back to it because this was nuts. Now, keep in mind, this is now 4 months after Maddie has gone missing. And we are in the year 1962. So this does make, this matters. The year matters. Now we go to this air base and we see Paulie and Major Hanlon. And Hanlon, if I'm not mistaken, now somebody can correct me. I know one of y'all some book scholars here. Hanlon, I believe, is the grandfather of Mike Hanlon from the Losers Club. So if you remember the old 1990s, It movies, the black kid, like one of the only black kids, this is his grandfather back in time. So in the movies, his granddad was kind of old and stubborn and all that. Okay, yeah, we got that. Okay, so it is him. So that's his granddaddy right there when he was younger. And now we see that he's being shown around the air base or whatnot, and we see this building that's reserved for special projects. Now, first and foremost, we already know this has got to be a building that is of special interest. Now, you got something here. The first thing I started thinking about was a whole bunch of stuff. But first, we got this black driver. Now, I want y'all. Now, I'm not going to spoil this, right? This driver is someone special. Hopefully, nobody spoiled it for you yet. I do believe you will find out in episode 2. So if anybody knows, let's not spoil it for people. But I want y'all to pay something else, pay attention to something else. It's this look back, right? Keep in mind, it's 1962. You got this black major getting in the car with the black driver, and the first thing he did was look back. He ain't say not one word. No words had to be spoken. And I'm going to give you the quick translation. He said, listen, man, that building over there, it ain't for us. Stay away. Okay? Stay away. Go on away. Don't look at that building no more. That's what that look said. Okay? The look exchange between the two of them was just that. All right? So anyway, the internet spoiled it. Dang, that's messed up. Listen, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but it sucks. It sucks. If that spoiler was given away, but anyway, now I will say this though, when it came to that special building, because this is taking place in 1962, I gotta admit, the first thing that came to my mind was, what experiments are y'all trying to do on black people in there? Okay, let's not forget the U.S. government military did conduct inhumane experiments on black soldiers with the Tuskegee syphilis study. Go ahead and Google that for your own research purposes. But yes, this is not something that is that was uncommon with the treatment of black soldiers back then. So of course, we had those situations going on. Now, we also have here Bert the Turtle. Now, for my Stephen King fans or whatnot, this is definitely a nod towards the flying god turtle or whatever. I think it is. Anyway, what is his name? Maturin? or whatever. But anyway, we'll get more of those later. We are now introduced to Lily, who's supposed to be getting some, she's already getting strange looks, from all these people in school. She opens up her locker, and she already is getting like these jars of pickles or whatever dropping down and cracking open. Clearly this is some sort of prank or whatnot. And then her friend Marge comes around to kind of pull her away from all of that. And again, another turtle. And this is, I think, still just more of, Maturin, I think his name is. You see, you're gonna keep seeing these turtles. Now, for those of you that don't know, the turtle is basically the polar opposite of Pennywise. So if Pennywise is supposed to be the epitome of evil, the turtle, I think, created the universe in Stephen King's universe. So the turtle's basically God in this world, or in Stephen King's universe. So when you see these things, they're not really a coincidence or whatnot. But yeah, so we do see Marge. She comes and helps, pull her away. And, we do find out, that Marge is kind of like, yo, you gotta chill out. We can't have you be out here like this, Now we do see the two young boys. I believe that's Phil and Teddy, and they mention how Lily was let out of the crazy house. So that gives us a clue that she's been in a mental asylum or hospital at that time. And they're also talking about the military base, and they suspect alien cover-ups or alien experimentation or whatever. And we do go back to the air base. We see Major Hanlon. He comes into the hangar, and we already got a special case with a certain soldier who doesn't want to salute him. This is Airman Masters. And listen, he told him, hey, I'll get you next time, after Harlan checks him on that, on rank. And of course, he's not trying to change up his tune until the other General Shaw comes in, and he checks him real quick, like, hey, do you remember what happens when you don't follow the codes and stuff? Yeah, you get court-martialed, all that bad stuff, And I think it is, again, important to know this is all taking place in 1962. Jim Crow is still in effect. I need people to understand Jim Crow, the racist laws against Black people, it continued well after the Civil War and well into the time when your grandparents, who might still be alive, it was still in effect. Okay? I don't want to hear about systemic racism doesn't count. It was still around. 1964, the civil rights legislation went into effect. That didn't even happen yet. Jim Crow technically didn't even end until 1965, a year after civil rights. Okay? So anyway, I need y'all to understand why the racism is still prevalent at this time. They're not doing it to be woke. No, they're doing it because that's the way things were still happening. That's the way things were at that time. Okay? It was still ripe in America. All right? Now, I do want to give some kudos here, because the military at this time, it was one of the few institutions. Yes, there was still racism, but they were the few institutions where they were trying to progress, and efforts were being made towards being less racist. I mean, think about it. In all the places, in all the institutions in America, it made the least amount of sense to be racist in the military when the person sitting next to you, standing next to you, is literally putting their lives on the line to protect you and to protect people that don't even like them. So of all places, shout out to the military for that. By the way, shout out to Dexter's dad here as well, checking the races at the door. And you saw real quick, he changed that up. Right, he changed that attitude up real quick. That's the in the military, that's the equivalent in Black culture of fixing your face. Okay, he put that salute up real fast. He fixed his face real fast. Anyway, after they get settled in, we do get one more instance of the black man stare. Okay, between the two brothers. No words had to be said. No words had to be said, but they did give that glance to one another. Okay. And a whole lot of communication just happened right there. Basically, he was just like, hey, man, be on your P's and Q's. And he was like, hey, bro, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's understood does not need to be said. Okay, that's basically what happened. For anybody that's wondering, what are they looking at? What do they think? That's what happened. Stay on your P's and Q's. What you just experienced, that ain't nothing. Okay, it's still rough around these parts. That's all that had to be said right there. You see the glasses. Anyway, we go back to Phil and Teddy, and Phil is being a whole creep, staring at the neighbor while she undresses. And Teddy, however, he's still shook up because Teddy is upset over what happened to Maddie, and we learn that, Maddie has been missing for like 4 months. And despite Maddie being missing and probably dead, the other kid, Phil, he was like, dang, yeah, that's messed up. Anyway, about these aliens, and that's kind of what I was talking about when it comes to Derry having that characteristic of having the lack of empathy for people. Imagine a kid, first of all, a kid who probably went to your school, you probably hung out with him, you probably knew him, and all of a sudden they've gone missing. I mean, that in itself should be traumatic. And this kid is just kind of like, meh, whatever. So yeah, that's I think more of an effect of Pennywise. But we also learned here that they weren't really friends with Maddie, and his own mom, Maddie's mom, had to bribe these kids just to go to his birthday party, and she bribed them with candy. That's sad. That's messed up. Now I understand the mom's got to do what the mom's got to do. You got to try and get your kid, but man, clearly Maddie had a real messed up social life where clearly things were bad at home. I don't think it was his mom, probably his dad. And, he ain't had no friends, no real friends anyway. So anyway, we go back over to Lily, and she's doing her best to put on her happy face. And this is definitely, I think, signs of her having depression, right? She's got some grief or some issues that she's going through where if you have to practice smiling in the mirror, yeah, you going through some stuff, right? Things are clearly not good with her. We also see the bracelet that she's wearing with, once again, there's a turtle on it, right? Another turtle god, Easter egg. And we get this flashback here where Maddie brought Lily up to their secret hangout spot. This is where him and the other boys would hang out. So this was their secret spot. And we learn what Lily was actually dealing with. We also learned that Maddie was the one that gave her the turtle, which was for good luck. Haha, more Easter eggs. And we learned about Lily's background. And basically she told the story about how her dad had gone back for like a mood ring or a toy in a factory where they jarred up pickles, and he died in a machine accident. And, this is where, a lot of her grief and trauma comes from. And after opening up with her story and everything, Maddie tried to pull that good old move. Some of y'all know the move, that close-eyed, lean in for the kiss move. And Lily hit him with that Matrix Neo lean back counter. And she was like, nah, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? And that right there is where I think more of the emotional damage came from. That right there was a problem because my man was put right into the friend zone. And listen, to my fellow former nice guys out there, I'm still a nice guy, but the classic nice guys, boy, there was no pain in the girl you was crushing on. And you finally mustered up the courage to say something and make a move. And then boom, she puts you in that friend zone. Boy, you might as well go to real prison. He was hurt. He was hurt. Y'all remember that scene in The Simpsons where Bart was like zooming in on old boy's heart and was like, look, if you zoom in right there, you can see right when his heart just crushed. Like, that's what I saw from my man. My man's heart was crushed. Now, if something else to pay attention to, it looks like here that he's wearing the same clothes that he was wearing in the theater. So this could actually be the moment right before he goes to the movie theater. And my assumption here is that she's probably blaming herself. She's probably afraid that, like, oh man, I'm the reason why he went missing. Right now, keep that in mind. That might be her fear, her concern. Anyway, we see her mom says that they're gonna go visit their dad's grave, but she doesn't want to, right? She's, obviously she's dealing with her grief in this way. It's been over a year and she hasn't visited her father's grave. And her mom also reminds her to take her meds. So this also let us know that yes, she really is dealing with some mental issues, and whatever medication they're giving her, I don't know what they were giving people in the 60s back then, but she is on it. And just then she hears a voice down the drain through the pipes, and it sounds like Maddie. And when she asked him, yo, come home, where you at, come home, you heard the voice say he won't let me, and we see the fingers coming through the pipes or coming through the drains. So now the question bears to mind here: does this mean Maddie is alive, or is this just another trick from Pennywise? Because we know Pennywise will play tricks on people, right? So we go back to the school, and we do see here that we run into Patty. I believe Patty and the Mean Girls Club. There's always a Mean Girls Club somewhere, right? And Marge immediately tells Lily, after hearing the story, like, listen, I need you to chill out. People already think you crazy. You don't want to add to this, right? But Lily can already tell that Marge is really looking out for herself. Okay, she's like, listen, you really care about me, or you care about how I make you look around all them other girls, right? So, that might be something we got to keep an eye on. Now, Lily meets up with the boys to talk about what she heard with Maddie. And the boys, they not really believing her. First of all, they like, how'd you get up here? Who done told you about our secret spot? But yeah, they're struggling. They don't really believe her. They're like, yo, we don't have, listen, we don't believe you. You need more people, right? So they just leave her hanging like that. Now we go back to the military base. General Shaw let Hanlon know that he reprimanded Masters for his racist nonsense, and we learn that Major Hanlon was a really good soldier, right? Like, he really did a good job in the past war. I think it was in Korea or something like that. And Shaw wants him here to test out their newest aircraft, right? So now we know why he was brought here on the base. Now we go to Teddy's house, and we learn that Teddy is studying for his bar mitzvah, right? And he shares his theory about Matt and, kids being kidnapped with his dad. Now, this, his dad tells him about all the horrors of the Jewish people and how their skin, like their literal skin, was used as lampshades. Now, the dad said a line here, and it did bother me a little bit. And listen, I don't know if we got some. I think we got a couple, Jewish folks here. Feel free to entertain this conversation if we need to. But he said, "Hey, we are Jews. We know better than anyone else about the real horrors of this world." And I'm sitting here like, I know we're not doing the struggle Olympics here. I know, I'm just, like, this ain't a competition I really want people to get into. Okay, Kristen, you Jewish. Now, I mean, I don't know if this is, just the way he was talking. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, black people are here too. We got a couple stories too. I hear the lampshade skin thing, but I'm like, yo, black people's teeth were made for dentures. Okay, General Washington, like, yeah, like, let's not have this competition. Okay, shout out to my indigenous Native American brothers and sisters as well. I don't want us to get into this competition. Okay, let's not have the who had it worse competition. Don't nobody want that Medal of Honor. Okay, but I understand to a degree where he was coming from with this. Now, here's where I think he was really coming from. He put up a Flash comic. Now, I want y'all to understand this connection here. He put up a Flash comic book. Keep in mind, WB they're in charge of HBO, and WB is also in charge of DC Studios. That's why you're going to see a lot of DC stuff here. He put up a Flash comic, and by the way, Andy Muschietti also directed the Flash, and I believe right after he sat here and said that Jewish people understand the horror and the terror, he put up the Flash comic, which lets me believe that he's really talking about the Flash movie was that terrible, and it was horrific on all of us. That is what I'm going to walk away with from this scene. That the real horror here is actually the Flash movie that flopped, and a lot of us had to see it. That's what I'm going to walk away with this, okay? Anyway, we do see Teddy is in bed, and he's reading a Batman detective comic with Clayface. Now, that should be probably another little Easter egg because, once again, Andy Muschietti is supposed to also direct the next Batman Brave and the Bold movie, and Clayface is a shapeshifter. Yeah, get it? Just like Pennywise? Okay. Now, as Teddy is reading, the lights keep going on and off. Just lights on, lights off. Lights on, lights off. Then bam, the lampshade was made of human skin, just like his daddy mentioned. Yikes. First of all, why? Why? Who came up? Why would you come up with this? Why would y'all do this? Then this man gonna make the lampshade crawl on the ground? What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Oh my God. Huh. Then his brother came in and was like, man, I don't even know why we related, man. I don't. Whew. So, of course, the very next day, Teddy out here throwing up, as he should, because that's nasty. Like, who wants to see that? That's disgusting. But now Phil and Teddy believe Lily's story. Now they're like, all right, I think you got a point, right? So they go to the library, and they now have to find a little bit more information on Maddie. And this leads them to Ronnie, right? Because they found out he was at the theater the last time before he disappeared. Now, when they mention the sewers and talking in the pipes and the songs and stuff, she tells them like, hey, I heard them voices too in them pipes. Okay. And that's when Ronnie was like, all right, yeah, maybe we got something here. Meanwhile, back at the airbase, handling, he's trying to go to sleep, but he's attacked by some mysterious men wearing gas masks. They pulling guns up to his face, and they watching him and they asking him all these certain questions about specs to the aircraft and stuff. And he wouldn't give up no info. He wouldn't say a word. Okay. Because once again, snitching ain't in the policies. And all of a sudden, my man Paulie came in. He was rushing in, jumping on these dudes, and they fighting back. First of all, get you a friend like Paulie. Okay. Paulie is literally, hold on. This right here, I want y'all to understand, this is literally the image of a ride or die friend. He's riding this man's back because he's ready to die for his friend. This is ride or die. Who else making these connections? I know y'all watching them other YouTube channels. Ain't nobody making these connections. Man, y'all be in the right place. Y'all are in the right place. Anyway, they escaped that whole thing. Now, first of all, I'll just say this whole thing was definitely suspect. At first, I definitely thought, okay, this must be some racist stuff going on. We already saw the situation with Masters. But I'm like, first of all, the first thing they ask you is, what are the specs? This feels like a test. It feels like a test, right? Like, it's one of those things of like, yo, are you the snitching type? So anyway, we'll find out more about that later. But anyway, now this right here, and I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting the Losers Club vibes all over again, right? You got the kids, they on the bikes, they doing their investigations, they about to sit down, watch the whole movie. I'm getting the Losers Club all over again, right? So anyway, they're sitting down in the theaters and they're about to watch the same movie that Maddie was watching before he passed away. Keep in mind, Ronnie was also there, so she knows how to work the projector. And while this is happening, Maddie shows up in the dang on movie and he's holding a baby and he starts to blame them. He starts to blame them for his disappearance. Just then, as he's talking and they sitting here shocked, you see the little smile, good and well. Didn't I tell y'all? For those of you guys that follow, I told y'all there's two things to be scared of. It's two things. One, little old white ladies. And two, little white kids. I don't make these rules. But when you see a little old white lady and you see little kids, little white kids specifically, smiling at you like that, flag on the play. Okay, run that away. Just right then and there, run away. Of course, they don't listen to E-Man. And just like that, that mutant baby done came on out the screen, popped out, just flying all around the place. Shout out to the lighting. The fact that they made that burn film cover the whole screen with red, I love that. And then the scary baby effect, the mutant baby, what? And this thing, first of all, they is jumping, they is running, they are going through it, they're trying to escape, and this mutant baby is not playing. When I tell you, that's kids. Okay, that's kids. They flinging around like that. Kids flinging them around. I can't even show you what happened. Like, that's a kid's face. That's a whole kid's face. And then here's the other thing. Phil's little sister, I think that was his little sister, she ain't even had nothing to do with this. He just brought her along because they didn't have a babysitter. And she got caught up in all this too. You look, remember that hand right there? Remember that hand? Ronnie came in with a hammer. Shout out to my girl with a hammer. Because first of all, ain't no way I'm running into a theater when I see that nonsense with nothing in my hands. See, that's them instincts. Okay, the ancestors told her, girl, don't you run in there by yourself with nothing in your hand. Get you something at least. Shout out to the ancestors. She gets in there, she asking the wrong questions. What's going on? First of all, y'all need to be leaving. First of all. And they see that mutant baby ain't gone. It ain't gone. It's still there. But they managed to get out. They put that hammer in the door like, come through. Rodney with the good ideas. And she's like, yo, what's going on? What is happening? What is this? I don't know what's going on. And then we see, and I ain't trying to show it, she's still holding on to the hand. She's holding on to little baby girl Susie's hand. And that hand is real. It is detached. It is no longer on that other little girl's body. And that's how you end this whole episode. Where's that comment? Hold on. Let me get Omar. Yeah. I titled this episode, Funk Those Kids. Listen. That you might as well call the show this. You might as well call the show this. This was FTK on drugs. Because clearly, this show don't care about kids. Pennywise definitely don't care about kids. Remember when y'all thought y'all was going to get a losers club? I mean, I know I did. I thought we was going to, okay, the gang is back. Here we go. Let's go ahead. Oh, y'all dead. Oh, y'all gone. And you just going to leave us like this for a week? Yikes. Now, first of all, I should say this too. Somebody can correct me on this, but I do believe episode 2 is not going to come out on Sunday. HBO is going to drop it on Halloween on Friday. So if you are looking for the episode, I do believe they're dropping it early. So make sure you catch it on Friday and not on Sunday. So it is dropping early. But oh my God. Oh my God. This episode, they not playing with y'all. Okay. Yes, nobody is safe. FTK. That's it. That's it. Okay. First of all, before we get into everything, can we have a conversation? Can we have a conversation about Pennywise? Because we have two instances. Two. The car ride messed me up. The car ride in the beginning, I was sitting here thinking to myself, like, I think I have completely forgot about how powerful Pennywise truly is. Like, I am really starting to believe that we have to come to the point that Pennywise has to be the most evil, powerful villain in horror movie history. Has to be, right? I mean, think about this. If you talk about the Hellraisers, right, or whatever, Pinhead, all of that, you got to go be dumb and play with some little maze, little origami thing or whatever. You got to go do some dumb stuff to go messing with the Hellraisers, okay? Jason, you got to be dumb, go out on a campsite somewhere and go have sex or do whatever bad things on this Crystal Lake pond or whatever. You got to be doing some dumb stuff. Even Freddy Krueger, right? For whatever reason, maybe you got to be around Elm Street. Maybe you not. But you got to be asleep. Freddy got to catch you when you dozing. Pennywise, all you have to do is be afraid and be near him. If you are near him, you already feel the effects. You start to lack empathy. You have no pity. You don't care about certain things. You might start acting mean. Just when you around, just the funk of it through the sewers can get you out yourself. And then if it actually taps into your fear, it warps reality. Like all reality just changes. He's not making y'all hallucinate. He's literally being like Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and transferring the entire reality around you. And guess what? Ain't no waking up from that. Them kids got. They got chewed up and got in the theater. That's real. You saw the hand. That hand is not an illusion. It's not a dream. That's a limb. Gone. Pennywise has to be the most powerful villain we've ever dealt with. I don't know no competition at this point. Somebody help me. Maybe there's competition. I don't know. I don't see it. I can't tell. I can't call it. Because how do you fight this without making some little poem made by a turtle? This is a problem. Pennywise is an official problem. It's a problem. He's a menace. All right. This is the point where I need you guys to give me your review, your rating on this episode, 0 to 10. Please let me know, what did you think about this episode, 0 to 10? While you're doing that, let me give you my thoughts on the episode. First and foremost, amazing opening sequence. I thought that this is exactly how you hook people for any type of new series. What I appreciated the most was the storytelling. I liked how it subverted expectations. Every single time I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, okay, we got a losers club. Nope, y'all dead. Oh, that kid's gonna make it. Nope, he's gone. Like every single time I'm watching a sequence in this episode, I'm being taken here and they like, psych, we over there. So I love the writing in this. I thought it was really cool. I liked actually on the second rewatch how many little bits of information fueled certain things or set up things that I didn't catch. So actually, if you do watch it on replay, there is some good rewatch value. That is critical. You don't really get a lot of that sometimes. So I thought that was cool. I love the cinematography and I love the setting. I like the atmosphere. I liked how in the theater you had the red lighting. Do you know how scary that looked? to be. First of all, I don't know if y'all understand. Have you ever been in a movie theater by yourself? I have. That's scary. That's something I will never do in my life ever again. I remember side quest. I remember I went to Sinister. Not even a scary movie. I know it has a bunch of jump scares, whatever. But the thing is, I went in a daytime screening. It was a daytime showing of the movie because I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this movie at night. Let me go in the daytime, bright as ever. Guess what? You know where it's not bright? In a movie theater. I go into this movie theater, I'm by myself. It's nothing but echoes all around me. And then, of course, in the movie, it's got all this crazy stuff going on. Then the jump scares, the volume's loud. I'm by myself. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on around me. Scared the mess out of me. Now you got these little kids with stuff literally jumping out the screen. Screwed me up. If you gonna ever talk about a movie critic's worst nightmare, there it is. Okay, that's me. So I'm sitting here like, yo, they shot this beautifully. I love the fact that they did not spare any type of they ain't spare no feelings. Listen, if you a kid, you getting thrown up in the air and you getting torn to pieces. You getting torn apart. Wow. So when it comes to the rating, I think I've got to give this a 9.5 out of 10. This was a fantastic episode to really just claw you in and hook you. I know for me, I'm automatically interested in watching the second episode right here, right now after that. So yeah, I'm going with a 9.5, but doesn't matter what I think. I need to know, what do the people think? Let's see. Where do we go? Let me go back. Let me go up. Let me see. Where are we at? By the way, Vecna. Vecna could be a good challenge. Vecna could be. I don't know if Vecna can alter reality, though. I mean, Vecna can give you hallucinations. But we'll see, because they did say that Vecna's powers are going to go up in Stranger Things. So we'll see. Let's see. 10, 8. Damn, Derek, a 3? Damn, bro, what did this episode do to you? All right, 10, 9, 8, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5, 10, 9, 10, 10, 9, 10, 8.5, 8.5, 8.5, 8, 9. Okay, 9. Who else? Do we have any more? Okay. All right. Listen, 8.5. Listen, it sounds like most of us, except for Derek, did enjoy this episode. And it did the job. So I think that is, hold on, we got a couple others. 8.5, 10, and 9.5. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think this was a pretty damn good episode. I think this was pretty good. All right. Guys, that's all I got for today. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate y'all. Listen, we got a ride to go on. We got a long ride, and you know, I think it's gonna get even better. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. If you are interested, I have done some interviews. Unfortunately, they will not let me do the video, so I had to write them up. So if you're interested, you can always visit themovieblog.com and search for Derry. You'll see some interviews about I talked to the showrunners, I talked to some of the actors. Some of the stuff is spoilery, so it'll come out every week. So just make sure you tune in to that in case. But got some good stuff there. Mike, what you got? Thank you, brother. I'm not even here, but how about them Chiefs? Yeah, I'm trolling replay game. Okay, whatever, man. Don't know. Whatever. First of all, I think everybody already knew the Chiefs was gonna win. I asked you not to spoil it, but it's fine. I didn't care. I didn't expect the Commanders to win anyway. But that's fine. I'm gonna go watch the game anyway. He a Chiefs fan, so whatever. Anyway. Oh wait, don't tell me they lost. Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna go watch the game for myself. I'm not gonna read nothing else. Let me turn these off. I'm not reading nothing else. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you. We will be here. So if they're going to do the episode on Friday, maybe we'll meet up on Saturday. and at least that'll give you guys the 24 hours. So we'll meet up on Saturday, maybe Sunday, but probably Saturday, and we'll talk about that episode. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. I always appreciate you coming through. Make sure you have a nice, productive, safe week. You know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, we all float down here.